This is the luxury world. Get inspired with us today and tomorrow. In the global landscape of luxury timepieces, few labels command the same level of reverence and brand prestige as the phrase Swiss made. These two simple words, typically located at the bottom of a Rolex dial, have long conveyed an impression of authenticity, precision, heritage, and craftsmanship. However, the belief that such labeling guarantees that every component within a watch originates entirely from Switzerland is, at best, a partial truth. As the industry and geopolitical climate evolve, so too must the understanding of what Swiss manufacturing truly entails. This episode, presented by the Luxury World, endeavors to unpack the complexities behind the Swiss-made designation, particularly as it pertains to Rolex, the world's most iconic luxury watchmaker. Make sure to subscribe to Luxury World for exclusive access to upcoming insights, curated content, and expert guidance to help elevate every step of your watch investment journey. For decades, Swiss made has functioned as an elite status marker in the watch industry. It suggests the product has been designed, manufactured, and assembled within the borders of Switzerland. However, this assumption reflects an outdated, idealized notion of production purity. In reality, a significant portion of a Swiss watch's parts and components may originate from countries far removed from the Alps. Historically, the legal threshold for a watch to qualify as Swiss-made was based not on the geographic origin of all parts, but on the value they contributed to the final product. Before 2017, Swiss law mandated that at least 50% of a watch's value must be derived from Switzerland to earn the designation. Following an update to the legal standards in 2017, that threshold increased modestly to 60%. Still, this 60% refers specifically to the cost of production, not the physical makeup of the watch itself. To fully understand the implications of the Swiss-made label, it is essential to examine the specific legal criteria that govern its use. Swiss law mandates a series of stringent conditions that must be fulfilled for a timepiece to be legitimately marketed as Swiss. These stipulations go beyond simple branding and involve multiple stages of production and quality assurance. Firstly, the movement, arguably the most vital component of any mechanical watch, must be classified as Swiss. This means the movement must be assembled in Switzerland, and at least 60% of its manufacturing costs must be incurred within the country. Secondly, the movement must be encased in Switzerland. This step ensures that the final assembly of the core timekeeping mechanism occurs under Swiss oversight, reinforcing the integrity of the final product. Thirdly, the final inspection must be conducted in Switzerland. This process includes a thorough examination of the completed watch to verify compliance with quality standards and design specifications, ensuring the product meets the benchmarks associated with Swiss horology. Lastly, all quality control procedures must take place within Switzerland. This requirement includes the evaluation of materials, manufacturing processes, assembly accuracy, and functional performance. Taken together, these criteria establish a framework that emphasizes Swiss involvement at every critical stage of production. However, they do not require every individual component to originate from Switzerland, only that a majority of the value-added processes be performed within the country. While these conditions ensure a strong Swiss presence in the production process, they stop short of demanding total exclusivity. For example, parts such as screws, gaskets, pins, bracelets, clasps, crystals, and lubricants do not legally need to originate from Switzerland. Many of these small, often overlooked yet essential elements may be sourced from China or other manufacturing hubs in Asia. Among luxury timepiece manufacturers, Rolex remains a symbol of tradition, reliability, and status. Yet, even Rolex is not immune to the scrutiny surrounding its compliance with the Swiss-made standard. Despite its historic roots and headquarters in Geneva, the company has not publicly disclosed the origin of every part used in its watches. Rolex has long operated under the assumption that its products meet and exceed the 60% cost-value requirement, and few would question its legal compliance. Still, the company's silence regarding component sourcing means no conclusive data exists on the percentage of foreign manufactured parts found within a modern Rolex. This lack of transparency has fueled conspiracy theories, social media debates, and YouTube speculation, with claims ranging from exaggerations about Chinese manufacturing involvement to accusations of misrepresentation. However, based on available data and known practices within the Swiss industry, these claims are generally unsubstantiated. While some minor components might indeed be sourced from Asia, Rolex continues to maintain its status as a Swiss watchmaker, both legally and functionally. The firm's commitment to vertical integration, with facilities in Bienne, Geneva, and other Swiss regions, further suggests that the majority of its manufacturing processes remain under its control within national borders. Rolex owns its own foundries, produces its own cases and movements, and carries out in-house quality control, ensuring tight supervision over critical components. While it is easy to interpret the Swiss-made label as a literal statement of geographic origin, in practice, it functions more as a marketing tool than a manufacturing guarantee. The watch industry relies heavily on perception, and few labels evoke as much emotional and financial confidence as a Swiss signature. This perception has served Rolex and other luxury brands exceptionally well. The prestige of the Swiss-made name continues to justify price premiums, attract collectors, and create scarcity in both retail and secondary markets. However, it also obscures the underlying reality that watches, like smartphones, automobiles, and countless other global goods, are rarely manufactured in a single country. Amid rising speculation, many have latched onto the theory that Swiss watches, especially Rolex, are secretly manufactured in China. This misconception stems largely from the sourcing of generic components and the existence of high-quality Chinese counterfeits. However, equating the presence of Chinese-made screws or gaskets with full-scale Chinese production is a stretch unsupported by evidence. Switzerland maintains strict controls over movement development, casing procedures, and final inspections. These functions are central to the character of any timepiece, particularly a Rolex. As such, even if certain auxiliary components originate from outside Switzerland, the soul of the product remains distinctly Swiss. Further, no public documentation or credible source has proven that Rolex operates production facilities in China for its official product lines. Counterfeit production centers should not be conflated with authorized Rolex operations. The real danger lies in oversimplifying complex global supply chains and using that oversimplification to challenge the authenticity of legitimate timepieces. Therefore, the value of a watch should not rest solely on its country of origin, but rather on the integrity of its design, construction, and performance. Each piece deserves evaluation on a case-by-case basis, free from nationalistic bias or branding mythology. It is tempting to romanticize Rolex as a paragon of old-world craftsmanship and purity. However, like all successful enterprises, the brand ultimately exists to generate profit. Pricing strategies, marketing efforts, and brand exclusivity all serve that goal. The company's use of the Swiss-made label, while legally accurate, is also a strategic decision designed to reinforce its premium status. The association with Swiss excellence elevates consumer perception and justifies the significant markup placed on its products. The same holds across the luxury sector, where perceived origin plays an outsized role in shaping consumer expectations. The discourse surrounding Swiss watch manufacturing must evolve beyond binary judgments and nationalistic assumptions. The watchmaking industry, like most global markets, now operates within a network of international relationships, supply chains, and value systems. To view Swiss-made as a guarantee of total geographic origin is to misunderstand both modern manufacturing and luxury branding. While Rolex continues to represent the pinnacle of Swiss watchmaking, the full truth behind its production remains veiled by non-disclosure, market tradition, and legal nuance. The 60% Swiss value threshold ensures that a majority of costs are incurred within Switzerland, yet this does not exclude the possibility of foreign-sourced components. Rather than viewing this as deception, it may be more accurate to consider it a reflection of 21st-century manufacturing realities. Precision timekeeping has always blended tradition with innovation. Now, innovation must include a reevaluation of how value, authenticity, and origin are defined. What are your thoughts on the topic we shared in this video? We would love to hear your perspective. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments and give the video a thumbs up if you found it insightful. Do not forget to follow Luxury World for more curated content on fine timepieces and market insights. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to welcoming you again in our next video.